Welcome. A little bit late. I had some technical difficulties tonight that were beyond anything I could possibly explain, except I could possibly blame it on the Nordic witch, Lussi. Because she's caused me a little bit of trouble tonight because I have not done all of my chores or gotten ready for winter. Welcome. I just saw a shooting star. Everybody make a wish. Welcome to Seaside Shadows Haunted Histories Sunday Spooky Tales. I am your hostess, Sunshiny Star, and tonight I would like to tell you a story. If you're all Krampused out, by the way, and I'm sorry, Courtney, if I got that wrong because I saw the shooting star and I was 100% amazed by it. So we are at Seaside Shadows Haunted History Tours, Spooky Sunday Stories, or Sunday Spooky Stories. Cut me a break. Honestly, all night long, been problems with the phone and technical difficulties. So here I am, again, to tell you this story quickly before it becomes midnight and you might be in danger. The story, if you're all Krampused out, of another spooky, witchy monster that has to do with the Yuletide. Her name happens to be Lussi. Now, what can we think about the name Lussi in the first place? The name Lussi indicates that it comes from the Latin word lux or lux, which means light. And in the Julian calendar, this evening, December 13th, was indeed the solstice. Not the 21st in our own calendar, but the 13th. And in the Nordic tradition, in which Lussi originates in writing for the first time, if not implied earlier in the Bible to be Lilith, the person who abandoned Adam in the garden to be her own woman. So think about all of this. These are clues to the future, and these are clues to the past that are linked together by Nordic traditions that Lussi is a big part of. Because Lussi becomes something that is very, very normal in modern day life. But let's talk about what she did first. Okay? Lussi, the witch, the Nordic witch, is someone that you do not want to cross. And she is someone who demands that you have done all of your chores, gotten all of your firewood stacked, gotten all of your preserves put up, all of your slaughtering and preserving is done for the year. And if it's not by now, on this particular night, the Julian solstice, she will come crashing into your chimney with her broom, and all of her demons and hellions and undead fairies, not kind that you like, along with Odin, to judge you on how well you've done this year on getting your chores completed. So if you've been a procrastinator, you might want to watch out tonight. In fact, in Nordic days, people put axes upon their doors, crosses upon their doorways, to keep away this very scary Yuletide witch who came upon the solstice to decide whether you were naughty or nice. If you were nice, you had nothing to worry about. If you've been naughty, well, then you had everything to worry about. Because not only would she take your children, but she would take your very own heart beating from your chest and eat it. And And then you would join her in the afterlife. Now, on this particular night, many people stayed up all night long, to guard themselves against this bruja, or witch. Bruja is a Latin name for witch, but witch, Nordic witch, sorceress of all sorts, had no mercy on anyone who didn't get their chores done or who weren't nice. Now that you know this tale, just a tiny bit, I would encourage you very much to have at least one person in your household stay up all night, lest you be visited by Lussi, the Nordic witch. The Nordic witch later on became, of course, in the Christian tradition, a saint, but not in this form at all. Only in the form of a Nordic or Swedish female, young, with a evergreen wreath upon her head and 7 candles, and a red sash around her waist. This tradition took the idea that this woman, Lussi, remember, meaning light bringer, this is the solstice for the Julian calendar, and the light bringer sun goddess is always flying through the air in her golden chariot, ever escaping the darkness, and yet is a part of the darkness. What this tradition evolved into in Christianity, going back to Roman times, was the idea of this woman in about 300 CE who would help the Christians in their catacombs while they hid, in order to be saved from being fed to the lions by the Romans. And this woman was called Lucia. And later on, this particular day became the day of Saint Lucia. However, the road to sainthood is also not pretty. And if Lussi catches you without doing all of your chores, she will probably rip the heart out of your chest and eat you alive. And if that doesn't frighten you enough, imagine how this poor early Roman woman died, which was at first because she was being persecuted by the Romans for helping the Christians in the catacombs by bringing them plates of food. She created this hat out of the evergreen wreath and the 7 candles so that she could carry more food on her plate. And she's often depicted blind with eyes on her plate because she just walked blindly in there to help. And of course, because she was helping the Christians at that time, she began to be persecuted for what she was doing, which was helping others. The Romans didn't like this at all. And they decided to, guess what? Burn her at the stake in 304 CE. And it's rumored that she didn't die. And then it took 6 ways from Sunday to actually kill her. After they killed her 6 ways from Sunday, she was canonized and created to be a saint. And that is the person that you might envision on St. Lucia's feast day as a young woman in a white gown with the evergreen wreath and 7 candles on her head. But know that as gruesome as that tale is about how you might become a saint in the eyes of the church, also behind that lies the pagan roots in which Christianity often borrows their traditions. And in this case, it goes back to Lussi, the Nordic witch, the sorceress, who might visit you if you haven't been very good, if you haven't done your chores, if you haven't gotten your affairs in order at this time of the year. She might be visiting you. And if she does visit you, I would hope that you would be prepared to maybe throw a sweet cake over your shoulder to distract her. Because if you're not prepared for that, she might be just about ready to, guess what? Eat your heart out. Happy solstice. Merry Yule.